So I saw an article saying how James Gunn was doing an interview and he revealed that the Batman Brave and the Bold movie should be done before 2031. And I'm not going to lie, kind of pissed me off. Because if you don't know, Robert Pattinson's Batman 2, or The Batman 2, just got some pretty good updates. They accepted the script. They're going to start filming in the spring, I believe, or sometime soon. But either way, that movie has taken forever to get made. I mean, it's been damn near 4 years, if not 4 years, since the first one. And they haven't even started shooting the thing. And, when they announced this new DC universe from James Gunn, he talked about how he plans to have two different Batmen, one be in Elseworlds, hence Robert Pattinson still continuing, and one be, the Batman that takes place within the DCU as we know it. So he can interact with heroes like Superman and Peacemaker and all the other ones that we've seen so far and will see in the future. Now, on paper, that all sounds fine and good, but I have a few issues with that, and that's what I want to talk about today, because I was having this discussion with my wife, and it just, the passion I had for it made me feel like I needed to make a video about it, because I care about Batman. I mean, I love Batman. He is my favorite superhero. He has been since I was old enough to have consciousness, and it has remained that way, albeit with Spider-Man coming in a close second, especially within the last few years recently. But my frustrations lie with the execution, and that honestly can be said for this entire DC universe that Gunn is running. Whether you like Gunn or not, you have to admit, the execution is not always there. There's flip-flopping on things that are said and plans that are made, which in being realistic, that would be fine if you're not the person manning a ship as big as DC. The thing is, you have things with Kevin Feige where he'll announce something and maybe it won't come to fruition. But that's really few and far between. I mean, we say what you will about Marvel, but most of the time, they execute on what they promise. And with DC, obviously that's not been their strong suit even before Gunn, but now even, we're not even like halfway through the first phase, I would imagine, of their new universe. And there's been so many things switched up and around. And, if you're asking me what I'm talking about, I mean, I can make a whole video talking about the stuff that he's, backtracked on or changed or just blatantly lied about. And one of those things that has me concerned is him saying, we're going to leave Pattinson's Batman alone. Don't worry. He'll be in his own universe. It won't happen. But the fact that we got this update saying, we should have our Batman movie out and done by 2031 has me a bit concerned, because it's starting to feel more and more like Pattinson is just going to become their Batman, which, I mentioned this in one of my other videos. I'm not even entirely against, because I will admit, some of the edits of him with Corn Sweat Superman, it works really fucking well. But with that being said, I like his Batman on his own. I think the take that they're going for, I don't really see him fighting otherworldly threats like aliens and gods and, monsters and stuff like that. I see him fighting street level criminals, maybe like a Clayface, maybe, but even that's kind of pushing it. The other thing that really frustrates me with this whole scenario, this whole situation, is the treatment, I guess, of Batman and honestly the Trinity so far. If you don't know, for me, I call Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman the Trinity. For me, they are like the holy trinity of superheroes. They are iconic. And the good news is, they all belong to DC. However, we've gotten a Superman movie so far, and I'm just a little bit lost on the direction we're going. And that's not to say I don't have faith. I mean, I'm willing to see it out, give Gunn a chance to see what he's cooking. But that being said, I mean, I think it's fair to say it's a very odd choice to do things like the Creature Commandos or 2 seasons of Peacemaker. I know the first one came out before all this, but either way, another season of Peacemaker and a Clayface movie and all this other weird shit before we even see our other main heroes, Batman and Wonder Woman. For example, we had that Superman movie, and we get references to a lot of stuff, even to Gotham City, but we don't get a mention of Batman. We don't see him in a newspaper clipping or, have a cameo from anybody. And you know what? If there's not a cameo, that's totally fine. But what I'm saying is, I don't understand why you promise your fans such a connected universe, and you establish all these things about how, everything's gonna, it exists in the same universe. And it's interesting to me because, there were shows that I grew up on, like Justice League the Animated Series, for example, where it's clearly a connected universe of all these iconic heroes, and you get that, not just through them interacting, but there's just times where a hero will be on their own in their own city, and you'll see like a newspaper of the Flash saving the day, or TV broadcasts of Superman doing something. Like, you just get little hints here, and that's really all I'm asking for. I didn't expect Gunn to do the Superman movie and have Batman and Wonder Woman show up at the end. Like, I'm not saying it should be Batman versus Superman or anything like that, but what I am saying is it is a bit concerning to me how we're getting all these other characters before our Trinity. And I know you don't have to do it like, do Superman, then you do Batman, then you do Wonder Woman, but what I'm saying is I just want to see more of them. I wish they had more of I guess I wish they felt more impactful in this universe, because right now it's like, well, shit, if you didn't know anything about DC at all, you wouldn't even know that they existed in this universe. You wouldn't even know that they're heroes. And granted, like I said, I know we've only gotten a few projects, and that's fair. But I'm just saying, if this persists, if this keeps up, it will be an issue for me, and a much bigger one. The other issue comes with the update itself. Like, saying something, or like saying the Batman movie will be out hopefully before 2031, that's kind of insane. With the Batman Part 2 coming out in 2027, I get that they're working on that, but Gunn is handling all this, presumably, all this DCU stuff, whereas Elseworlds is pretty much, he still approves stuff from my understanding, but he's not nearly as, involved in the creative process. So that has me questioning, why it's going to take so long to get a Batman movie here. And with that being said, we don't even have any word on a Wonder Woman movie at all. Now, granted, I think there are a couple slots that are mystery projects leading up to, sprinkled in 2027, 2029, 2028. That could be a Wonder Woman surprise project or something. That could be. But the point is, that's a lot of theorizing. What we know for sure is that we don't know shit about the Wonder Woman movie. We don't have an actress, we don't have an actor for Batman. And I get it, some of this stuff can be fun, like teasing people oh, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? You have to maybe wait around and find out, eh? That could be fun, but it does get to a point where it's okay, can you please just tell me? Shit, dude, I just want to know. And that sounds greedy, it sounds like I'm missing the point, but it's just hard to explain aside from saying I'm just over it, I just want to know who the Batman is. I just want to see this stuff come together. And I know it may sound like I'm rushing things, but all I'm saying is I prefer to see, people like Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, before I see people like the Creature Commandos or the Authority. Although, again, apparently the Authority isn't happening now. I don't know. But nonetheless, I think it's just kind of very frustrating how they've been handling such iconic characters. Even Superman, for example, I know it's seemingly got a lot of positive reception, but it was mixed reception. And that's going to happen with certain fans behaving like, cult members. But every fan base has that. You could say that for pretty much everything. And I think Superman was a movie that you really had to nail. And I'm not saying they didn't nail it, but I'm just saying I do think it could have been stronger, especially for a hero like Superman, and not to mention the box office performance could have been stronger. That's the other thing. People are, taking that as a win that it made X amount of money, but it's a character like Superman should not, that should not be a win. That should be expectations. That should be minimum expectations. Superman is synonymous with superhero. He is the superhero. as much as Batman is my favorite, Superman is like the quintessential superhero. So, yeah, I don't know. It is a bit frustrating because I've said this in another video where it's like, dude, it's literally just as easy as, obviously not doing this literally, but just copy and paste the animated Justice League universe and do that in live action and you'll be good. Obviously, like I said, don't do that exactly. But, take a lot of inspiration. Like, the bare bones of it is perfect. I mean, establish everything that way, have everything intertwined, and then from there, tell your own stories, do your own unique things. I mean, I'm all for stuff like Creature Commandos, but maybe not in the first phase and not like the very first project, kicking off your universe, unless you include Peacemaker, but, the timeline's not at all complicated, at all. Either way, that's my thoughts on everything. I've just been pretty frustrated, especially with this, they're like blue ballsing us with Batman, and it's just kind of starting to piss me off, but I just wanted to vent about it. See what you guys think as well. Give me your opinions. If you think, everything's going according to plan and it'll all work out, that's great. Let me know why. Who do you guys want to see as Batman? I've been seeing a lot of that as well. I kind of already made a video about that. I did make a video about that. But I've been seeing a lot of kickback on certain names and a lot of new, fresh names that I didn't really see before. So, pretty interesting. Let me know if you guys want to see another video on my thoughts on the Batman casting and who I think it will be and when I think it will happen. That's about it, though. Until next time, I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next video.